Hi, everybody. It's Angel here. And I just want to say thanks for joining, either live or on the replay. And I'm super excited to chat with Eva from Naturally Rawsome today. So I'm sure you guys will enjoy our conversation. Hi there.
Hi,
How are you?
good, and you?
Fine, thanks. Thanks so much for taking the time to chat today.
Thank you for inviting me.
Awesome. My pleasure. I will be playing with filters, so you're going to see sparklies on the screen. And I have posted our topics on the bottom. I just pinned them on the bottom just to kind of help to follow along.
Cool.
Cool, cool. So I think we should get started because we have a lot of topics to cover. And I just want to say to everybody, thanks for joining either live or on the replay. And if you have any questions or comments for Eva, just please pop them down in the comment section below and she'll be happy to answer them.
Absolutely.
So I think I should really ask you how you pronounce your name.
Eva.
Eva. Okay. I just want to be sure because there are like different variations and I just wasn't sure.
Ah,
So there we go. Awesome. So again, thanks everybody for popping in to say hi and to listen to our conversation today with Eva from Naturally Rawsome. And Eva, I think we should just jump right in and start our conversation.
yes, let me.
We have a hi Eva from Ronnie 32.
Hi,
Hi
Ronnie.
Ronnie. Awesome. So let's get started. I see there are more people joining, so I just want to say hi to everybody. And also, if you have questions for Eva, just pop them down in the comment section below, please, or comments. That's fine too. Awesome.
Sure.
So let's kick off, Eva, with the topic of your vegan journey, how you started, and how you arrived to where you are today, please.
Well, I started my journey back in 2014. I always had digestive issues for, I think it started from 2014, maybe 2 to 3 years ago. And I always looked into eating healthier and finding solutions, but never really got better. And then in 2014, at the beginning, I got the diagnosis that I'm lactose intolerant. So that made a lot of sense to me. And yeah, I was a yogurt lover and milk lover. And that's what actually caused my issues. And due to my love to yogurt and milk, I kind of looked up alternatives. And as I was on Instagram, I stumbled across Fully Raw Christina and the Banana Girl diet. And that totally made sense to me. I also discovered the 80-10-10. And reading all of that and hearing from them and their stories, it just resonated with me and made so much sense that I changed my diet pretty much within one weekend and went on a banana island for 1 week. And after that, just jumped into raw veganism and stayed on it.
I love that image of a banana island, to be honest with you. That's quite awesome. Wow. So you just kind of just jumped right in there because I guess, I think what I'm hearing too is that you kind of reached that point where you were like, you've had enough, right? And you're like, hey, I need to find a solution, and plants are the solution.
Absolutely. And then in
Yeah.
2016, I won the medical medium book and got even more answers to why I had some issues with things and digestive issues and other stuff.
Wow. Now, for those who are not very familiar with the medical medium, one of the things that, pops into my mind are his writings in alignment with veganism, or is he including some animals in his writings?
Well, in his writing, he says he's open that you can eat animal products if you want to, but pretty much all of his recipes are plant-based and yeah, some of
Yeah,
them even raw vegan.
yeah,
So
yeah. Because
very good,
sorry.
very good recipes.
Yeah, I've watched him on Instagram Live a few times when because we host them, and I honestly had that little curiosity about him.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool, cool. Before we get to our next question, I just want to say hi to everybody who's joining, and please put your questions and comments down below for Eva, and she'll be happy to answer. And so, Eva, let's go on to your raw vegan diet and juicing. How did you get into that? I guess aspect of the vegan diet. I mean, I think you kind of partially answered it, but if you could just like expand a little bit on why you've chosen a raw vegan diet with a focus on juicing.
Well, I entered the diet because of my health issues. And then I also discovered all of the other vegan aspects, of course. But for me, my main focus was always I changed my diet because I felt so bad eating the normal diet kind of way. And yeah, as I mentioned, I started with the banana island, and then I couldn't wait to try out other recipes that I saw from Fully Raw Christina and discovered on Instagram. And in the beginning, I also tried some recipes with a little bit more fat in them, but I pretty soon realized that overt fats don't do me that well. So I kind of came up with my own versions and made fat-free versions or very, very low-fat versions.
Awesome, awesome. And so you're moving right into our next topic, very naturally, very just just as your Instagram handle is naturally awesome. And so you segued right into our next topic, which is your recipes. And my question is, what's your inspiration in creating your recipes?
Well, my inspiration is basically I want to create some delicious stuff for myself that I eat from day to day and share them with other people so they can enjoy them too, because especially now with the medical medium trend in being fat free and eating no fats for a while to support our liver, it's becoming more of a trend. And back when I started, it was always like when I said I eat pretty much no fats, people always told me, but you need some healthy fats. They're necessary. You need them. You can't live without fats for such a long time. And now everybody's eating a fat-free diet and pumping in on it. And yeah,
Yeah, and fats are very controversial, and we all have an opinion, and we all have like a happy medium where we find our equilibrium, we find our balance, or at least we think we do. And I'm not trying to cast doubt on it. I'm just saying like it's a very hot topic.
yeah, they are delicious and make foods really delicious. And yeah, it looks tasty, it tastes good, and the creaminess is just uncomparable.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a tricky topic, but I personally think that you handle it beautifully in your recipes and your communications. So I applaud you for that because it is a tricky topic, and it's a slippery slope. You could kind of go too far, or either in either direction.
Yeah.
Yeah. I want to say hi to everybody who's joining. Thanks so much. If you have questions for Eva, just pop them down in the comment section below, please, and she'll be happy to answer. So that takes us to your coaching. Can you tell us about your coaching services?
Well, I do coach people if they want to. I also have a link in my bio now where they can fill out a questionnaire and then I'll reach out to them if they want my help and need some help with their health struggles and want to get better. And most of what I do is also in alignment with the medical medium information, because that has helped me along the way as well.
Right. And so when a person comes to you for coaching, are you mainly focusing on raw foods and juices or, you know, how do you approach that?
Well, I basically pick people up where they are right now. They don't have to do it like me and jump into raw veganism right away, because for some people that is way too hard and it's too much of a change and can create quite some detox. And it's not good for everybody. So we got to see where they are right now, what they can handle, and take it step by step by incorporating healthier foods and making some dietary changes day by day.
Yeah, I love that you customize it. Number one, you're not like shoving it down their throat. Hey, you need to go raw. You need to, juice all day long. I mean, I think it's awesome that you, like you said, you're meeting them where they are. So you kind of pick up on the journey from there.
Yeah, if I would shock them with a raw vegan diet or tell them eat this, eat this, eat this, then it would be way too much in the beginning and they wouldn't even think about getting started, because yeah, it's just too much in the beginning.
Yeah, I agree with you. Yeah. And so tell us a bit about your books and your guides, that you offer or you have as part of your, I guess, offerings and services.
Well, I don't know how many books it are right now. Actually, I have a free nice cream ebook that's on my website with, I think, 25 nice cream recipes. And I also have a book where I explain the ripeness of different fruits and veggie fruits and how to pick them and how to store them. Also with exotic fruits like jackfruit and durian and that stuff. And then I also have a Christmas recipe book, which is completely fat-free for those of who want to try the fat-free recipes.
Yeah.
And then I also have a soup recipe book, which is also very low in fat, and a bread recipe book, my newest book. Mostly.
Awesome. Awesome. I love the variety, honestly. You just, as we say, you go from soup to nuts. You just cover it all, I love that. I love that.
On an apple recipe book.
Yes, I saw that you were, asking, I guess, for comments and input, suggestions, and then I saw you posted like a whole list of, future recipes. And I thought, oh my gosh, like they're so creative and they're so yummy.
Yeah, the list kind of doubled by now. And I'm new inspirations every day.
I love it. Well, we are in apple season in the Northern Hemisphere. So, I personally am enjoying lots of apples, different colors, green, red, yellow. I mean, I love apples. So I can definitely see that your apple book cookbook will be super popular.
Yeah,
Awesome.
since they are kind of all year long in season everywhere.
Yeah. Yeah. But I think like the fall, like, what we call autumn, fall, winter kind of like that's like the big, for us, that's like the big, bountiful season for apples. So yeah, totally, totally get that. So great idea. You're keeping with the season. So I love that. I want to say hi and thanks to everybody joining. If you have questions or comments for Eva, please pop them down in the comment section below. And so, Eva, let's go to something that you have in your profile, and you describe yourself as an ocean tourer, a traveler, and a spiritual being. Can you share with us what you mean by that?
Well, I love to travel and discover new places, especially warm places like in the Caribbean and tropical places where it's warm. This is my favorite kind of climate. And yeah, spiritual being also because I kind of grew up in a spiritual family. And yeah, my parents have always been into meditation. And yeah, that's
Awesome.
inspired me and is also part of my daily life right now.
Yeah, I love meditation. Honestly, I think it's such a powerful part of our lifestyle, you know. And I think, honestly, for me anyway, the more raw I progressed on my vegan journey, the deeper I was able to go in meditation. And so I definitely, you know, think that it's an awesome, part of, again, of our lifestyle.
Yeah,
Totally. So many benefits.
automatically coming in.
Sorry?
And when you're switching your diet to a healthier diet, like a raw vegan diet, it's automatically coming into that topic as well.
Totally, because you know you're getting rid of lots of layers, lots of numbing, and lots of old habits that are like covering up. It's almost like lots of blankets on top of you, or just lots of excess old baggage. And so for me, like meditation really is a part of like going deep and shedding a lot of that old stuff, you know.
Absolutely.
Totally, totally. So, ladies and gentlemen, please put your questions down below for Eva. She'll be happy to answer. And so, meanwhile, let's go to our next topic, which is how do you handle naysayers, critics, and skeptics of our vegan diet and lifestyle?
Well, I let them have their opinion, and if they think that it's bullshit what I do, or if it's not healthy, then it's their opinion and it's nothing to do with my opinion.
Yeah, yeah. And does that kind of happen like now and again, or not so much?
Not so much. I only have it on YouTube, where I once posted a video when my skin was really bad, and I posted a video about cleansing the liver, and everybody is kind of commenting some from now and then to clean up my liver myself because my face obviously shows that I have a problem. But yeah,
I have to tell you, I just started posting on YouTube this year, and it's like a different animal. It's like a different beast. And I do find that some people are a little more aggressive on YouTube than they are, let's say, on Instagram. And so it's kind of like the wild, wild west for me, to be honest. I'm still trying to, understand YouTube and the energy there.
yeah, it's very different. And I think sometimes I don't know, is it a spam comment or is it just a real comment from someone? It's hard to differentiate sometimes.
Good point. Good point. um, Hi, guys, for joining. Thanks so much. Please put your questions down below for Eva, and she'll be happy to answer. And
Yes.
so, meanwhile, let's go to our next topic, which is newbies, vegan curious, vegan friendly people, people just starting out on their vegan journey. What are some of the, tips and tricks and advice that you would give a new vegan?
Well, definitely start slow and yeah, bring in more raw foods for sure also, and more fruits, and not too much overt fats and fried foods, which are also very popular on a vegan diet, I guess, like donuts and pommes fritters and yeah, chips.
Yeah, and I started my vegan journey on a lot of what we call processed food or junk food. So I was eating lots of French fries and vegan burgers and pastries and cookies. As long as it said vegan, I was like, yes, please, I'll have one of those. And so I can definitely see that, your advice is good advice, because those, heavily processed foods are, first of all, very hard to digest. A lot of times, they have if they're not organic, for example, they have lots of additives, preservatives, artificial colors, lots of junk, in them. So pesticides, herbicides, I can definitely see why you would,
Yeah.
recommend that folks kind of, try to get more into the raw end of the spectrum.
Yeah, more veggies at least.
Totally. Now we have a question from Deanne Sandel, who's asking, how long does it take to heal with MM? 2 years?
Well, that always depends. Everybody is different, and you can't say you will take 1 year or 2 years until you heal. It always depends on your specific issue and how long you've been dealing with it and how, yeah, how obligated you are to make the changes and what you kind of incorporate from the medical medium protocols, so to say.
And how heavily does medical medium recommend juicing?
Well, he recommends juicing, especially celery, very, very strongly. It's one of his main tools to get better. But from my own experience, I can say that juicing helped me, but doing the smoothies and green smoothies also helped me a lot, and sticking to fruits and everything.
Totally. And the variety and the sweetness of fruits. For me personally, I have a sweet tooth. I've had a sweet tooth since a very early age. And
Same.
like I was saying earlier, I was eating lots of pastries, cookies, blah, blah, blah. And, again, once I moved on into the, raw end of the diet, of the vegan diet and lifestyle, I find that fruits have really kicked my sweet tooth, basically my cravings, because they're so sweet. There's so much variety. It's just awesome. Now we have a couple more questions, and thanks so much for all these questions, ladies and gentlemen, and please continue to put them down below for Eva. Meanwhile, we have Andrea Ileana, who says, hi, Eva. Do you ever get bored of your dinners or ever crave potatoes?
Well, at the moment, I don't get bored of my dinners. If I get bored, then I usually try to switch things up and maybe have a dip with other stuff for dinner instead of my salad. But usually I eat it because I crave it. And with the potato cravings, I rarely get them. Maybe during the winter time, but even then more for sweet potatoes than regular potatoes.
Now, am I mistaken, or does medical medium suggest potatoes?
Well, he suggests them. They are very healing and antiviral. So potatoes are a very good food, as long as you keep them fat-free or low
So,
in.
right. Sorry. So, in other words, maybe like on the boiled side of things, more like boiled or steamed.
Absolutely.
Yes, yes. Okay, great. We have another let's see, comment here from Dean Sandel. Thyroid, 17 years, MM doing a year and a half. Thanks a lot.
Well, it's still difficult to tell how long it takes to heal because it's just you. Even if I know a lot about someone, it's hard to tell. But usually, it's from my own experience. It took me a half a year to get improvements on my skin, and another half a year to kind of being back to almost normal. And even after that year, I still got some reddish skin on my face when I went into the sun. So it took at least 2 years to heal it. But I was basically mostly raw vegan and almost fat-free for all of the time. So yeah, it always depends on what you eat and how how much of the healing foods you incorporate and how many antibiotics you took, how many other prescription drugs, and yeah, be making a generalization on how long it takes to heal is pretty much impossible because everybody is so different and has a different background, different family history, different things that we got from our family, like heavy metals and what we're exposed to every day. Yeah.
No, totally. And I appreciate you saying that because a lot of times we as humans, we want a quick fix. We want it fixed yesterday. We don't want to wait like you went through, 2 years. Like a lot of us don't want to wait 2 years. We want it yesterday.
Yeah, I
As
didn't want
soon as,
years either.
sorry?
Naturopaths in the beginning told me that it would take me at least 3 months to see some improvement. I said, 3 months? I don't want to wait 3 months.
So I'm not just making this up, right?
Yeah.
And so yeah, so a lot of times we're like, hey, as soon as we take that first green juice, yeah, everything's fixed. But like you're saying, no, and it really depends. And I would even extend what you were saying to even like, well, what's the quality of water that we're consuming? What's the quality of sleep we're getting? What's the quality of relationships? What's the quality of exercise, fresh air, etc.? What's the level of stress, etc. So like all of those other factors play a role, I think, too, in how quickly, quote unquote, a person will heal.
Yeah, especially as you mentioned, stress. Stress is kind of hard on our adrenals, and adrenals play a critical role in healing. And that's why it's so important to kind of, when you're stressed, take a deep breath and relax and eat some kind of fruit or adrenal snack to not fire up your adrenals and create maybe a flare or detox symptoms.
Totally. And I'm glad you kind of went down that rabbit hole with me because, stress, just a person, like let's say even a person who's like not on, a raw vegan diet or a vegan diet, etc. Like say, take someone on the standard diet. Again, when a person is experiencing, high loads of stress, high levels of stress, they could have a flare up, either something in their gut could go haywire, acne could flare up, et cetera, et cetera. So, I mean, there's a long list of evidence or consequences of, again, something like, stress or sleep or relationships or exercise, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah, because if we release adrenaline when we're stressed, it it's corrosive adrenaline if it's a high stress environment or situation. And that is even more harmful than eating any kind of no food or troublemaker food like gluten, dairy, and stuff.
Whoa, that's powerful. And scary. Yes. We have a comment here from Mia Rodis. I eat tons of potatoes.
Awesome. They're so good, even though I eat
Awesome.
a lot. But in
So,
the past, when I was little, I used to love mashed potatoes.
me too. And I actually also used to enjoy a lot just boiled potatoes with like parsley on it, a little bit of salt and pepper. For me, anyway, I just found them very comforting. I guess for me, that's one of my comfort foods. Well,
I
back in the
also,
day.
for a while, to um, and about 1 or 2 years into my raw vegan journey, I also got those cravings. And I kind of got cravings for not so healthy foods. And eating steamed potatoes and things like steamed Brussels sprouts helped me to get away from those cravings.
Oh, I love that. That's a tip, guys. That's a tip, in my opinion.
They're so satiating that you're just stuffed and don't want to eat anything else.
Totally, totally. We have a let's see, I think a comment. I'm not sure if it's a question. Chinky027, great name. I felt the same. I wanted change right away too, but it takes patience, one day at a time.
Absolutely. Even if
Awesome.
the days are not so rosy and we're kind of in a flare or have not so good days, then it's hard to get up and keep doing our things, but it's totally worth doing it.
Totally, totally. And like you said, everyone is different. So, again, what took you 2 years might take someone 3 years or might take someone a year and a half. So it's really hard to say. So I appreciate you kind of, keeping it keeping it real on that level as well. I want to thank everyone who's on the line here, who's joining. And also, I want to invite you to put your questions and comments down below for Eva, and she'll be happy to answer.
Absolutely.
And so, meanwhile, Eva, let's go to your future projects. I know you mentioned your Apple book. Are there any other, vegan-related projects that you're willing to share at this point?
Yes, I'm also working on a course for people to help them improve their symptoms and diets and everything. And that's pretty much in the making.
That is awesome. I noticed with this whole global situation we're all going through, a lot of people have, what I call reinvented themselves, or who like, being very creative, like yourself, and, created, new courses, be it a webinar or whatever you want to call it, right? Or kind of like I don't know if we would call it like live or recorded types of, courses. So I think that that's really cool.
Yeah, I already have a name. I want to call it Cautious Health Academy. And yeah, lots of informative stuff in there.
Awesome. And that word cautious, I think, is really key because I think it goes back to what you were saying earlier that, you know, first of all, everybody's different, and it'll take, a different amount of time for the healing process. So, just kind of like, manage our expectations, I guess.
Absolutely. And sometimes people are really kind of or feel disconnected from their body and need some help to know what to do next. And I created some kind of questionnaire and other things to help them reconnect to their body and know what they need right now to see improvement.
That's awesome. And that makes me think of, what you were saying earlier, or we were discussing meditation, for example. And I feel like meditation also like helps us to get in tune with our bodies, to kind of know ourselves better. Again, get rid of some of the layers that we've kind of piled on over the years, and really get more real and raw, and like, down to the core.
Absolutely. Meditations are definitely a part of that course too.
Wow. All right. All right. So let's see if we have any more questions. Not at the moment. All right. So Eva, tell us what's the best way for people to contact you with questions, comments, etc. If they want to collaborate with you.
Well, I have my email is naturallyrawsome@gmail.com, or they can simply reach out and write me a DM on Instagram. Yeah, or leave me a comment on some of my posts.
Awesome. Awesome. And so, Eva, I want to thank you so much for taking the time to chat today. I've learned a lot and I feel more inspired. And I want to thank everybody who joined either live or on the replay. And I'm going to ask Eva just to kind of give us her final thoughts. Anything else that you want to share?
Anything? Well, keep going. I guess you're already on the right way, and healing is definitely possible, even if some people say that you have an uncurable disease, which I was diagnosed too, and didn't happen. So
Wow.
going and eat healthier, eat lower fat meals and everything. More green smoothies, they're so important. And yeah, you will get there.
Oh, well, I appreciate you ending on that high note. Very optimistic, very encouraging. Um, we have a little smiley from Sandy B4936. So awesome. Well, I want to thank everyone again for joining, all of your questions and comments, and especially to you, Eva. Big thanks to you. And I will share the live on IGTV, in my feed, and on stories, and then I'll message you after.
Oh, great. Thanks so much for inviting me and asking all of your wonderful questions.
Thank you so much. My pleasure. So take good care, and bye bye, Eva, and bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye bye.